A controversial law could prevent more than 500,000 Texans from voting, and it's heading back to court later on today.
Yeah, the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals is going to be hearing arguments concerning Texas's voter ID law. Kay Whiteout has the details on what the court case could mean for you.
Good morning. Basically, what this law means is if you want to vote, you need to have a state-issued photo ID card, whether that's a driver's license or a concealed handgun license. Lawmakers passed this back in 2011, saying they wanted to curb voting fraud, something critics say just doesn't happen. Now, two courts have already ruled this law violates the Voting Rights Act by discriminating against minority voters. Critics of the law say some 600,000 Hispanic and African American voters do not have the necessary ID to vote because while the ID itself is free, they have a hard time accessing the necessary documents in order to obtain the ID, like having to purchase a birth certificate for $30 or $40. In August, a three-judge panel with the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled that the law discriminates against voters, but the state appealed that ruling, citing they wanted the full 15 judges on the court to hear the case. That begins today.
The Fifth Circuit rules and then the Supreme Court kind of is fine with it and doesn't need to review it. You could see this in play by November 2016. Hopefully, it's decided very soon. This law has been in the court system for 5 years.
Overall, this means it is still very much up in the air whether or not this law is going to be in place come the November presidential election. No ruling is expected from the appeals court today. But if they decide to say, yes, it does in fact discriminate against minority voters, the state could take this case all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. That case could not end up being heard until January, possibly, when all the judges are in place. Of course, we'll keep you posted along the way. From the state capitol this morning, Kate Whiteout, KXAN News.